Thank you, Madam President. Senator McKinney, I'm confused too, because from listening to the debate, that's also what I thought, but I only ever know 20% of what's going on, so. But I do my best, and how could anyone ask any more of me? It surprises me how hot proponents of bills like this get, and how defensive and indignant, because you're going to win. You're going to get it. With a series of amendments, maybe we chip away at one objectionable thing or another, but it's going to pass easily. So, we count the votes, we do the work in committee, it comes out, and the outcome is ordained. It's all but signed, so no need to raise the temperature at all. But what got me out of my seat was listening to Senator DeBoer make the point once again that is a comparison that really grabs me and works for me, saying that charging people to use the courts is like charging people to come testify in the legislature, charging them to use the legislative branch of government. I say, why not? If we want to run government like a business, maybe we should be charging some fees for people to come in and testify, or to come in and sit in the balcony, because of course there's costs associated with that. There's printing, there's the cost of security, there's staff that's needed to process all the testimony and paperwork and exhibits that testifiers bring in. There's security needed for the building. Maybe some of the people that want to participate in their government by coming to the Capitol to see their legislative branch in action should be defraying some of that as well with some fees. That's running government like a business. Maybe I'm giving you some ideas for next time. But I also think that these increases in fees, which I'm always against, reflects a deeper shift in how we think about government, where we have to run it like a business. And it's sort of treating the courts like a luxury service or like an amenity that people can choose to use if they afford it. But the courts aren't that. They're a fundamental function of government. And when we raise court fees, what we're doing is we're placing a higher price on justice itself. And as Senator McKinney said, for whatever reason, it is a lot of lower income people who are more likely to be court involved, justice involved individuals. And so by raising fees, we're basically telling Nebraskans that if they need to defend themselves or protect their families or assert their rights in some way, they are going to have to pay more for the privilege to do that. And that's not justice for all. That's not accessibility. And I'm not in favor of public goods, public services, being rationed to the people based on their ability to pay. When we're all taxpayers, we're all putting in our fair share, in theory, that we're supposed to be. We hear this phrase really often from the governor, from the president, from some people in this body about running government like a business. And it's as if it's like inherently wise or efficient. It sounds kind of smart, because in this culture we respect business owners, and we think that if you own a business, that experience must come with some knowledge and expertise that qualifies you to be a leader in government. But government is not a business. It was never meant to be. Government's not supposed to generate a profit. It just is supposed to serve the people, and those are very different missions. And when we confuse them, we start making decisions like raising court fees that undermine the purpose of these public institutions. So you can see this mindset play out in other areas too. The first thing I thought of was the Postal Service. I run a business where we send mail every single day, and I'm a big supporter of the USPS. But people argue that the Postal Service should be shut down because it's not, quote unquote, profitable. They're applying this private sector mindset to a public service. And the purpose of the post office isn't to turn a profit, it's to make sure that every person, no matter who they are and where they live, can get their mail. So when we start asking ourselves if the courts are paying for themselves, I think we're asking the wrong question. The question should be about the role that they're playing in a just and fair society where justice is accessible to all. Are they fair? Are they serving the public? Those are the metrics that matter. And raising fees on people who are already struggling
Time,
to access
Senator.
justice is the wrong direction on all of them. Thank you, Madam Chair.